I hope you appreciate this video, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to keep it a little bit light during the holiday seasons, and I think this is fun. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go over the payday prep that I want to share with you, I want to tell you why it is that I think that in the future, and I would probably say near future, meaning like within the next year or two, definitely less than 5 years. Now, to some people, 5 years may seem like a very long time, but it's really not. And I would hope that the events which I believe will take place henceforth will take place in 5 years or even longer. That way we have even more time to prepare. Because whenever a monetary system ceases to exist, it takes a long time. It takes a lot of small steps before you get there. Now, I believe that your average fiat currency throughout the history of mankind has only lasted, like on average, between 42, 50 years or so. And ours has already reached that 50-year period, meaning that back in 1971, when Richard Nixon took us off the Bretton Woods standard, or what they call the gold standard, that's when the monetary system changed from a gold-backed system to a fiat currency system. And if you take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at how much the dollar has been devalued since its inception in 1913 against gold, which is what we used to use as real money, in addition to silver, of course. If you take a look at that, you will know that when our financial system, when the U.S. Federal Reserve note no longer is the world reserve currency, that countries are not going to give it as much value as they do today. Let me give you a quick look at how much value the dollar alone has lost against gold in the last 110 years or so. So back in 1913, when the Federal Reserve Law was established that brought forth the Federal Reserve Bank, i.e. a bank that's not federal and a bank that has no reserves, so how can it be a bank? They're just the money changers that control the money of we, the American people, and a lot of other countries worldwide, because there's a lot of other countries that also rely on the dollar. But if you took a dollar back in 1913, it would take you $20.67 to purchase 1 ounce of gold. And if you take a look at today's market, well, let's go ahead and take a quick look at what today's market is. You can see here, ladies and gentlemen, that today on the 28th of November, 2023, 1 ounce of gold is selling for 2,038 Federal Reserve notes. So let's do a little bit of math. And what I'm trying to do here, ladies and gentlemen, is trying to convince you that next year or 5 years from now, it's going to take you a lot more hours in order to buy those same things that you bought today. So a way to preserve your wealth, I'm not a financial advisor, but I 100% believe this, is to go ahead and turn some of those fiat currency units that you've earned into existence into gold and or silver. Long term, it will preserve your purchasing power. And let me show you with my handy dandy calculator how gold has done against the dollar since the inception of the Federal Reserve note, i.e. what we call the dollar. Now, since 1 ounce of gold used to cost $20.67, and today it sells for $2,038, we're going to take $2,038 and we're going to divide it by $20.67. And what this number tells you, 98.59, let's just leave it at 98, is that the value of gold against the dollar has gone up by 9,800%, or 98 times, ladies and gentlemen. That is how gold has preserved your purchasing power over the years, or at least the purchasing power of those that purchased it back then and passed it on to their children. It has actually done what money is supposed to do. Not earn you interest, not make you rich, but allow you to purchase those same things 10 years from now, 30 years from now, than what it purchased you on the day that you actually transitioned that fiat currency into real money, i.e. gold and silver. Let me go ahead and do one other quick exercise with you on gold. and then I'll go ahead and show you all what my payday prep is, because I got some things that were pretty cool. So ladies and gentlemen, what I did was I took the gold chart and I turned it into a monthly chart. That way it can take us back in time a lot easier. And right now where I have it marked is the 1st of January of 2020. Now, would you all agree with me that the 1st of January 2020 or 2020 is when all of this inflation started? Because they started printing money like crazy because of the health crisis that was going around, ladies and gentlemen. So back then, on January of 2020, gold was about $1,500 per ounce. Okay, so let's go ahead and take $1,500 per ounce, knowing that today gold is at $2,038 per ounce. And let's see if gold at least kept up with inflation as stated by the government numbers. So we all know that the CPI is like the CPI, that the government numbers that they come up with is really not the same numbers. But this will give you a good perspective as to if gold kept up with at least the government numbers as far as inflation goes. So you take a look at here, it says CPI inflation calculator. Let's go ahead and put the number of dollars that gold was back in January of 2020. If you all remember, it was about 1,500 bucks. Okay, so we'll put $1,500 there. January, actually, we have to bring this to 2020. I have it in 2000. So from January of 2020 to October of 2023, $1,500 would be the same as, let's see what this says, $1,788.99. So what this calculator is saying is that if gold would have gone up from $1,500 since 2020 to $1,789 today, that it would have kept up with inflation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember the number that it is today is $2,038. So gold has definitely kept up with inflation over the last 3 years. And that is why I am so adamant in doing payday preps and getting things other than just silver or gold so that we can protect our purchasing power. Because not only do I believe that these items that I'm going to show you are going to cost a lot more in the future as far as nominal terms go, but I believe that it's going to cost a lot more of your time as well. And I also believe that it's going to become a lot more difficult for we, the United States of America, to import a lot of the things that we currently import just because of the devaluation of the fiat currency, i.e. the Federal Reserve note. I'm not a financial advisor, but the folks at Genesis Gold Group specialize in helping those who want to diversify their excess wealth by converting their fiat currency retirement plans into a plan that is backed by real money. So if you're in a position where you are wondering what you can do in order to diversify or insulate your wealth against what I like to call the inferno of inflation, give Genesis Gold Group a call and they can provide you with the information that you need in order to make an educated decision. So ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that may have skipped right to this part, the payday prep part, let me tell you why it is that I believe that we should be gathering these things now, even if you don't need them immediately. Like these bar clamps right here, we don't need these immediately, but we know that we're going to need them in the future. So we went ahead and picked up a couple of sets. Why? Because they were on sale. And I believe that the things being on sale, ladies and gentlemen, will be coming to an end sooner or later. Now, I do have prior experience with these bar clamps, and these were at a really good price at Lowe's. So my wife is the one that actually picked these up. We're going to go ahead and redo our kitchen, something we've been wanting to do for a long time. And we know that we're going to need some of these for when we put the cabinets in to make sure that they have a nice tight fit. So we went ahead and grabbed a few of these. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because the price was right. That's what I always talk about, having some dry powder. Dry powder is, for those of you that can, is to put aside a little bit of funds in case you come across a sale here or there that maybe you don't need right away, but that you know you're going to need in the future. So then you can go ahead and grab that at a lesser price now instead of having to pay a lot more for it later on because it wasn't on sale when you actually needed it. And as you can see, I went ahead and took advantage of the sale that Mountain House had on their meats. These came in at 50% off. So I grabbed a case of 6. Outstanding sale, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you that saw me show you the MC4 kit that I got for splicing MC4 connectors into wires here a few payday preps ago, I got this from Boga RV, and they are actual MC4 connectors. And for those of you that are interested in this, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and check out Boga RV. I do have a link for them in the description of this video and all my videos. But what this is just, these are male and female MC4 connectors that you can use to go ahead and splice into the wires that you get for your solder. And those are the leads right there. Pretty much brings everything that you need, with the exception of the crimpers, which I showed you on my previous payday prep. I got a few of these gas cans. They're like the race car gas cans, all right? And these have been very elusive to me because I haven't been able to find them anywhere around here. It seems that whenever they go on sale in an auto parts store around here, they sell out right away. They are that popular. So I actually found a few of these at Cabela's when we were down there. So I picked up 3 of them. I picked up 2 of these olive green ones, and I also picked one of the clear white ones. I want to show you this goofy hat before I forget, ladies and gentlemen. I picked this hat up at Cabela's. And I remember buying one of these hats at the Sportsman's Warehouse here a couple years back. And this is a great quality hat. They just look really goofy on you. But I'll tell you what, these are so nice and warm. It doesn't have a rating like -20 or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, these are so warm, and they're actually water resistant as well. And they're a lot of fun to wear, just because to me it looks like I'm wearing a helmet. Now, this is something that I picked up a while back, and I actually picked it up from Vision Preparedness's store. These are pull start fire, and they have these little blocks that come in here. Let me show you them. So these little blocks right here, they have very simple instructions. You pull this off. After you take the plastic off, you pull this off right here. Then you take this green yarn that it's got attached to it, and you put it around somewhere where you can secure it. That way you can then pull this right here, and it'll catch this on fire, and it's supposed to last up to 30 minutes. It says that it's windproof and rainproof, and that it will light wet wood. So this is something that's great, in my opinion, to have in your get home bag, and to have at least 1 or 2 in each of your vehicles, just in case, especially if you live in a very cold area like here in Alaska, where you get stranded and you need to start an emergency fire ASAP. Something else that I picked up was a few of these little flashlights, and what I like to do with this is not put them in my keychains, but I like to put them on the zipper of my jacket or a coat or whatever I'm wearing outside. That way I always know that I have a flashlight with me for any reason. So this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, right, with all the lights off, and here's my flashlight being on. See, like I said, it's not an awful lot of light. It's 15 lumen, but check it out. 15 lumen when there's no light is actually a lot of light. Oh, and look, this is not part of my payday prep. This Membrane Solutions or SimPure gravity-fed water filter. Ladies and gentlemen, even though these are out of stock right now, and the reason why I would say that they're out of stock is because I believe they're a great water filter. Obviously, it's gravity-fed. It's kind of like the Berkey style, but this one also has a UV light in the spigot that will give you even more protection in cleaning the water in order to make it potable. They will be back, I believe, sometime in December. If you try to get one based off one of my previous videos, they're out of stock right now, but they'll be back sometime in December. The only thing that I would say that is not favorable with this is that these take LR41 batteries. So they're the little like wafer batteries. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be like gold after the apocalypse. And I'm just kidding with the apocalypse stuff, right? Don't get triggered. But this is 2-stroke synthetic oil, and it's by AmSoil. I picked this up at 3 Bears on our way to Anchorage because I've always heard that AmSoil is like one of the very best oil brands out there. They're just not, you know, around everywhere. You can't find them everywhere, and they actually had a selection of AmSoil products at 3 Bears. So I picked one of these up. Why? Because it never hurts to have more 2-stroke oil than what you actually need. This thing would be like gold, especially in Alaska, where everyone's going to be running a chainsaw if the time ever comes where our utilities like electricity and oil and things like that are not available to heat your homes. Everyone will be reverting to wood, and this is something that you're going to need unless you want to be harvesting that wood with manual labor, i.e. a saw. Every single year, I check to see if these batteries are on sale because I have a lot of Ryobi tools that I really like, and they take these batteries. And last year, I was so happy that I was able to find these on sale for, I think it was $99 for 2 batteries. And when my wife called me from Home Depot here, I don't know, a week or two ago, saying that they were on sale for 79 bucks, I was like, go get at least 2 of these because this is a great deal. And I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but the part of the body that fails on me first whenever I'm outside and it's really cold, it's always my hands. It seems to me like I can stay out there forever. Just my hands get really cold really fast. So these are some electric hand warmers, and my wife got these, and I think that she got these from Costco. But these are electric, right, hand warmers, meaning that you power them with electricity and not like the Zippo hand warmers where you can use some of the Zippo gas in order to power them. And believe it or not, these things actually work pretty darn good. One of the things that I always look for during Black Fridays is some of this, right? Freedom seeds. They usually have a pretty good deal, and I buy enough boxes so that we can go to the range a few times a year and not have to worry about depleting our good stock. Obviously here they had some 22 on sale at a pretty good price, and we went ahead and picked up a few more boxes of 556 because we did go ahead and add a new member to the Alaska Prepper family. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, when I say that, hey, you need to get ready for the apocalypse or for Armageddon or for Mad Max or something, I'm only kidding. I honestly don't believe that we're going to have like a Mad Max event. Things are just going to get a lot more difficult. It's going to be a lot more expensive, all right, as far as your time, how much of your time it's going to cost you to purchase the things that you can purchase now, relatively inexpensive, and life is just going to be a lot more difficult. And that's why I think that getting prepared and stocking up on things that you know you're going to need in the future is very important for us to do now while we can, because believe it or not, these are the good times. I went ahead and picked up a couple of gun cleaning kits. We did add a couple of new members to the Alaska Prepper family when it comes to these guys right here. So we went ahead and got a handgun cleaning kit at a very good price. I mean, this is a pretty good quality cleaning kit, and it only cost like $10. So having something like this, very nice to have like in your get home bag, right, or even bug out bag or something like this, but this is very nice. And we also picked one up that was for a pretty good price also. I think it was like $30 or so for this one right here that comes in its own little aluminum case. And it has various cleaning devices for various types of calibers, all the way up to like a shotgun. So something like this, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, would be invaluable, right? Especially if you have to depend on yourself to provide you food by hunting or something like that. This right here is just a waterproof container to keep like pills and things like that in. So my wife went ahead and picked this up, and it's always nice to have something that's waterproof, and you don't even have to use it for like pills. If you have like SD drives or stuff like that, you can throw them in here as well, and you can know that they're waterproof. Another thing is mosquito nets. All right, so you can have a mosquito net for your head. Actually, I think it's very important to have this. Now, let's say that we did go into a time that there was a lot of people expiring from the earth, you know, like you hear in the books and stuff like that, and there's a lot of disease. Mosquitoes carry a lot of disease. So try to find a way to mosquito-proof your body. Using this along with like wearing long sleeve shirts and making sure that the rest of your skin is completely covered actually is a great idea to have. I do believe that this is going to be a Christmas present for someone who, I have no idea. Same as this right here. Little Miss Alaska Prepper picked this up. I think she intends this being hers, right? But it could also be a stocking stuffer. Some of these things I didn't actually get. I found in the cart after they had put all this stuff in a bag and it was paid for. a little carabiner. It's always nice to have a nice quality carabiner. Obviously, this is not going to be used for climbing a mountain or anything like that, but these are very, very useful, especially if you have tight spaces and you don't have a lot of room. Something that a lot of people forget, ladies and gentlemen, is leather oil. If you have working gloves or maybe shoes that are made out of leather, you want to make sure that you keep them up. And this works great. I know for a fact this works great on gloves, because I have a pair of leather working gloves that I probably have a couple of seasons under them. And man, they are so nice and soft and pliable that I definitely recommend you stocking up on some of this. And this goes a very long way. Now, the last thing that I'm going to show you all is just something that's a little bit fun. Now, little Miss Alaska Prepper got this, and I definitely always want to encourage her to want to do stuff outside. And this is like a little cooking set for outdoors. And it comes with a whole bunch of really cool little stuff. It almost seems like these are toys, but they're not. You can actually use them outside, and they do have a purpose. But I thought this is pretty cool, having a little set of tongs. And it all fits in this nice little container here, which is nice. And it doesn't weigh a lot. So it doesn't weigh a lot, so it's easy to put in a pack somewhere that you have to haul here or there. And it pretty much has everything that you need for a little kitchen. Now check this out. Well, the way this works is like this, ladies and gentlemen. I might as well show you. That way I'm not just showing you halfway. So you see that? So it's kind of like a full-size set of tongs. It comes with a little spatula. Right, same thing as the tongs. It expands out. And it feels like it's pretty good quality too. Now this, all right, is really cool. It's more on the side of cute than cool, but I'm going to show you. It has a little cutting board, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible. I hope you appreciate this video, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to keep it a little bit light during the holiday seasons, and I think this is fun. But look at this. Like I said, this is a really nice little set, little kitchen set that you can take anywhere. And it comes with a salt and pepper shaker. This is really nice. I really like this. And of course, if you want to have a couple of containers, maybe for some dish soap or whatever else you may like, there you go. And it also has another pocket here that allows you to keep a little towel, right? One of these little micro towels, and a little scrubber. So everything in this little bag, now I just have to put everything back in there. But I think it's pretty cool. And I think that was like $20-something or something like that. If you know you're going to use it, even if it's 6 months to a year from now, and you know that you can get it now, in my opinion, get it now if you can. Other than that, God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.